Dear diarrhea, diarrhea full of shit, just flailing me, myself, and I, and no one else. So you so legit. This is so pathetic. What I do, you know. I do these videos, but no harm, no foul. They are what they are. They do waste time. They do kind of get my brain razzled when I should be kind of winding down to go to sleep. But you know, I just sort of and then I'll watch some stuff. I didn't know Little Miss Molotov Cocktail had a channel. You shouted it out, so I'll go check it out. She's kind of cute. She kind of, like I said, she's got that voice. Sometimes accents work, sometimes they don't, and it just depends, like how heavy it is or thick or whatever. But hers is just kind of the right amount where it's not like, you know, she's, you know, come over here, darling, you know, I'll make you relax, you know, or whatever, you know. Then it's like, shut the fuck up. But, you know, it works. And that's the thing with me. I never know what's going to work with ASMR. So I just have to give it a listen. The lipstick at the end, I'm going to have to rewatch that. There's one that I have in my public ASMR. Pixie Woo or something like that. It's like this British chick where she does the makeup or the lipstick, and it's like, oh, you know, and kind of the eye stuff and whatever. It's pretty good. Anyway, I just sort of watched like the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and then scan to the middle, and then all the way to like the last 2 minutes. So that works. You must have taught her how to do ASMR videos because she looked. There must be like some sort of clock that you watch, you know. Oh, it has to be exactly as long as my fucking dick. I wish you'd make them a little shorter, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just. Seems like the Mad Russian. Seems like hers are like 30 minutes long. I don't know. Little Miss can eat a potato whole. Sideways. I didn't watch the one with, like, I'm assuming that's her husband. The one where she's got his shirt like all the fucking way up, you know, so the bottom of his fucking nipples are showing. He looks like maybe he's a brown boy. Like maybe he's Mexican or Indian or a mix or whatever. So that kid's gonna be able to grow up playing the race cards. So that's good. Any failures or anything that he or she experiences in life, she'll just be like, it's the fucking USA patriarchy, or I'm a victim, or I'm a lesbo, or I'm a protected class, or whatever. So that's cool. Got a leg up in life, you know. Evil Whitey. Keep everybody down. Everywhere you look. Whitey. We are Legion. Oh, apparently there's like billions of demons. They got one for every raindrop in the sky, every day of the week, and just, yeah. Fuck, who knows? It's not just the ones with the weird names like hey blue 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 and blah 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 blue. Fucking everywhere. And apparently everybody's assigned a guardian angel. Where did I hear that? I don't know. Really? Okay. But some people it doesn't work out. But you know. That's funny. Shit, really. But I don't know, whatever. I just heard. I'm not vouching for anything. It's, you know, people. Like I said, I consider myself a Christian. It's a bad one. Just so. That video, I posted it in Amen Drop the Mic 2. Weak people make hard times. AI. and I put it in the ASMR. Sean Ryan show, former SEAL dude. He's got like Sean Ryan show, Sean Ryan clips, whatever. It's a long-winded thing. Erin Brockovich. I suggest you watch it in its entirety. She drops lots of truth bombs. A lot of them I have said, like before, I started kind of watching all this shit. Mention of greed and cover-ups and lies and just all that stuff. Yeah. So. Like I say, that little what have you that's near my place, the natural gas that supplies it. I don't know how deep that shit is. I'll have to look into that. But a person should have their water tested every 6 months. And they should, to test for radon, I think you have to have someone come out, but radon pumps only cost a couple $100. Although I heard you could also just, once a month open up, a couple windows and put some box fans in there. I don't really buy that. And apparently it only kind of gets in there if you got like cracks in the kind. I don't know. It don't fucking matter. Everything in the fucking ground will kill you. But anyway, that PFAFA or whatever. What was that Roma or whatever? I wrote it down. Water filter thing. That sounds nice. I think I'll get that. Anyway, you remember that show, Erin Brockovich, from like the 90s? They're old and shit. Apparently she's like in her 60s now. Yeah, this AI thing, man. Yeah. Stating the obvious. We're gonna run out of water. We're gonna run out of food. Fucking A, man. All that shit. They just destroy, neighborhoods. Because I guess they have like a 24/7 hum, and it's driving people literally insane. And farmers, their animals have stopped giving live birth. They didn't state whether or not they're giving birth to dead calves. I used to be a little buckaroo, and that's sometimes shit would go wrong, and the calf couldn't, poop out the cow couldn't poop out the calf, for lack of a better word. So, cowboys, they don't fuck around. They put on a big old glove that goes up to their shoulder, and they reach in there and they pull that calf out. I've never actually done that, but I've witnessed it. And sometimes the cow, they'll fight you, right? They're like, what's going on? So they'll, clamp up. We're all adults here. Shut the fuck up. And so they have this device. So you reach in there, and sometimes you got to reach in there and strap grab the hooves. And it you can probably look it up, like just type in calf puller device or something. And you tighten it around the hooves. You got to reach up in there and do that. And then, the device goes basically against the cow's backside. And you ratchet that calf out. Cowboy shit. Like I said, never done it myself, but was there front and center. Man, I don't even remember. It was still dark out. I don't know if it was really late or really early. So, but yeah, cowboy shit, man. One cow, the calf died. The other cow, the calf, and these were like cows that were problematic, so they were up towards the barn. Otherwise, they just have them out in the field. You ride out there and you check and shit, and just ranch shit, like working ranch. There's a process. It's calving season, so you're going to be out there riding the pastures every day, checking the cows. And if one dies, well, now that's going to, attract the predators, the coyotes. So you got a place on site that if it's a calf, you can just throw it in the back. If it's a cow, you got to hook it up and drag it with the pick 'em up truck and drag it to like a designated spot where all the dead rotting animals go, or any other garbage that you just sort of need to get rid of. Just pick a spot, kind of a goalie hole, or dig a hole with a piece of machine, or whatever you want to do. But I don't remember what the deal was. One calf died. The other calf rejected it. What the fuck was the deal? I don't remember, but we skinned. Again, I didn't do this, but I was there front and center. Helper. Skinned the hide off of one calf and like tied it to the live calf so the other calf would hopefully take to it. I don't remember if it worked or not. Tied it with like baling wire or whatever, and then take the carcass of the other calf to the so he rigged up a pick 'em up truck if we needed to bring a calf back to the yard. We're a little calf catcher thing. So you'd rope it and get it in there and take it back to the fucking. Anyway, so like I said, I never came of age, I was just a little buckaroo. I was like, I don't know, I think I spent like 3 summers doing that stuff, and I was doing real ranch work. I mean, he would send me out, I herd the cows and stuff, and I was operating tractors and running chainsaws and all that shit, making the dry runs, with the rope and stuff like that, just blah 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 blah. But yeah, so like 12, 13, 14 years old, I think, were the years. So right, like during like puberty, I guess. So anyway, well, buckaroo shit. Had little boots and spurs and everything. Just a little kid, button-up shirt, Wrangler jeans, regular ball cap, not a cowboy hat. Anyway, and like I said, I'd be out there with my little canteen, and it'd just be me, and I'd take a moment, and I'd stop on the horse, and just horizon over horizon, just more, and I'd either be with the cows, and we'd take a break, and then I'd, get them going again. Follow the fence line, go to the gate, they know where they're going anyway. We'll meet up here, but they'll go back to the house, eat dinner, go to bed, stay with 5 o'clock, do it all over again. Well, it depends. Sometimes we get to pick up truck and check fence. Ranch shit, working ranch shit. Not, my wife is a teacher and I, work at a feed store and we have animals. No. Thousands of acres working cattle ranch. So, but and the branding and how they did that, my other uncle, and ranchers to get together, it's easier just to do it out in the field and stuff. It's less stressful. Oh yeah, and I already mentioned that shit, where that was the time that they brought him up to the what have you, and one cow was like, I'm fucking Air Jordan, man, and I caught it in midair, was like, motherfucker, oh shit, you go that way, you ain't going that way, ain't nothing else for you here. So but anyway, lost my train of thought. Sleepy ass tomorrow. Clubbing. You go to the beach, the Chicago beach. I'll have to Google that. Does it have a beach like with actual sand, or is it just like concrete, man-made shit, garbage all over the place? I'll have to Google that. What is that lake that's right there? Lake what? Michigan? They should call it Lake Chicago. But anyway, yeah. Show me your town, girl. Because we can still do the hookups and stuff. I always say that because I forget. You know, it's like, so that's fine. You can scratch that itch. You know, you'll try and reel me in. You know, and get me to fall in love with you and all that. But I got other hoes I gotta get to. Like before, and you'll just have to accept that. I'll come back to you. You're my favorite, But I gotta go, do some dickens on some chickens. So, yeah. I'm heading back to Chicago right now, delivering Wisconsin, and then I gotta get back to the yard for service. I wouldn't be surprised if they route me right down through Chicago. Because that's it sounds like that's where you live, like right in that area. Like the shithole, the fucking asshole of the city, like right there. You live like near O'Hare, So it's like somewhere there's, a building that's like 4 or 5 stories high. Right in that area where you live. So, anyway. And I remember I said, Chicago, fuck you. You ain't lying. You live like in the fucking, right in the fucking middle. Oh. So, but like I said, whatever. So, anyway. Oh, I'm so sleepy.